Hello, everyone. I'm Crystal,
And I'm RJ.
and we are Jesus Mom and Son. This is our channel. So I know it's been a while since we've been on here, but like I said, we just come on whenever we have something that we just want to share with you all. And so, anyways, I was going to tell RJ a story of something that happened to me the other day. And so he's not even heard this or anything. But I really feel like it was just an encouragement to me, and just brought some things to my mind, and it's helped me a lot. And I hope that this video encourages everyone else also. So the other day, I'm sitting there folding clothes. You know, we're snowbound. We got hit with this big winter storm and everything. And I was sitting there folding clothes, and I was watching a little bit of YouTube, and what I was watching went off, and this a show comes on. And anyways, the show that came on was this video of watching these little lizards. They were almost like geckos or geckos or however you say that. But anyways, in the video, they're sitting there, and I'm just like glancing up, and I didn't want to stop folding clothes to try to find me something else to watch. So I'm sitting there folding my clothes, and I look up, and here's this little family of lizards. There's like 4 or 5 of them. And so anyways, the video camera's talking about, you know, what's going on with the lizards and stuff. And I call them lizards. I don't, you know, that's what they look like to me. But anyways, so the first one, you know, it shows one running, and all of a sudden it's like in the desert, and there's like these big den of snakes that come out, like they're huge snakes, and they're like little. I don't even know what kind of snakes they are. Weird snakes. I hate snakes. So, but the lizards was running, and so the snakes was blind. The person was telling us that the snakes couldn't see, but they would feel the movement. So the lizards would run, and when they got close, you know, or they felt in danger, they would stop. And the snake would be, I mean, it was like a racer snake. It was like, you know. And so anyways, the first lizard went, and the snake grabs it and wraps around it and like chokes it and, you know, drags it off. The video camera shows it dragging off. So it keeps on going, and it shows these snakes, and there was probably about, I don't know, there was a bunch of snakes. Like, it just made me feel icky, you know, weird. So like the whole entire time I'm sitting there, my mouth's dropped, and I stopped folding clothes, and I'm like watching this as these little lizards is trying to make their way, you know, away from these snakes, you know, because they see this danger and stuff. And so anyways, it gets down to the last little lizard, okay? And that little lizard, it was sitting there, it was so pitiful. And you know, and I'm sitting there like, come on, buddy, you can do it. You can make it to safety. You know, because all the other ones, later on I find out that there is one that does, you know, that does survive. But anyways, this little one, it was like sitting there, and all of a sudden it takes off running. And here comes the camera shows these snakes like coming around it and running towards it and everything, and it stops. And I'm like, you know, at this point I'm like holding my breath, like, come on, sit real still, don't move. You know, I'm getting into this, so I'm like scooting up on the edge of my seat, and I'm like, okay, don't move. And so this little lizard's sitting there, and then it takes off running again. You know, so it's running across through there, and here goes these snakes after it. Like, there's probably 3 or 4 snakes running after it. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, run, lizard, run, lizard, run. You know, I'm like so excited, and I don't normally get into that stuff, but I felt so sorry for that little bitty lizard, because its family had already been captured by these snakes. So I was like, oh, come on. So anyway, so this lizard runs, and it stops. And then like this snake comes, and it's like crawling around where the lizard's at. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, sit real still. Stay still. Don't move. Rest. Stay still. You know, I'm talking to this lizard now. So, anyways, y'all should have seen me. I was a mess. I was like rooting for this little lizard. So, anyways, are just looking at me like I'm crazy. But, anyhow, so then it's sitting there and it takes off. And it's going so fast. And I'm like, come on, come on. And at this point, I just put my clothes to the side. And I'm like, come on, little lizard. So it runs and it jumps up on this rock. And when it does, there was like some snakes behind it. And the snakes jumped up and wrapped. There was 2 snakes that wrapped around this little bitty lizard. And I'm thinking, oh, no. I was like, that poor old lizard. It is gone. It is, you know, it's done now. So I start to sit back, and about the time that I start to sit back, this little lizard jumps up, somehow slips through them snakes, and jumps up, and it takes off running. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I was like cheering this lizard on. I was like, come on, run, run, run. So that little lizard, it runs, and then it jumps up onto this rock. And here, up there at the top of this rock is this other little lizard. You know, so all of its family didn't get captured. But this other little lizard's up here at the top, and it jumps up to that little top, and its little hands are like hanging on the rock, and the snakes are coming, and I'm like, get on up there, get on up there. And so anyways, so it eventually, about the time that the snake gets right up to it, it jumps and makes it to the top. And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And I felt so relieved that this little lizard made it, you know. And I'm like, oh, thank you, you know, thank you. I'm so glad that it made it. So anyways, and then the show goes off, you know, and I'm like relieved. And I don't know why, but as the day went on and as the week went on, I still was thinking about that little lizard. And so, anyways, scoot on over here, bub, so they can see. So, anyways, so as I was sitting there, thinking about this little lizard, I was thinking about, you know, that's sort of like how life is, you know. It's sort of like, you know, when you're a child of God, or even in life, you know, you're trying to make it, you know. You try to stay with your family, you know. You try to stay with your church family. You try to stay in the Word of God. You try to stay with, you know, on the right path. And like this little lizard, you know, sometimes you get into a position where you don't know what to do. You know, you've got hit with the burdens of life, or, you know, just, you know, trial after trial. And you know, and then I started thinking, you know, we're like this little bitty lizard, you know, you know, you can't just sit there and, you know, give up. Like, you got to keep trying. And so like this little lizard, you know, sometimes you got to, you know, just keep moving forward. And when you know that you need rest, or you know that you got to be still, sometimes you got to be still and let God work in your lives. Let God protect you and shield you from the enemy. And a lot of times in the Bible, you know, it refers to the evil one, or Satan, as, you know, the serpent, like the serpent in the Garden of Eden. And so anyways, you know, so I was thinking, you know, that's how, like, Satan is. He don't know the plans that God has got for you. You know, he doesn't know that. And so just like that snake was blind, that snake couldn't see it until it moved. But even then, as long as he was being still, or as long as we're being still and we're focusing on God and what God has for us and waiting on God, before we make our next move, whether that's praying, whether that's just, studying His Word and just waiting on His timing, waiting on when He tells us go forward. And so anyways, and then, sometimes we just got to go like that little lizard did and win again, and it stopped. And, and then again, God protected it. God, and God protects us. When I say it, in a way, God did protect it from getting eaten or whatever. But God protects us. And then, and then I started thinking, like even when the little lizard ran and both of those snakes wrapped around it and was like squeezing it and like, I thought for sure it was a goner. And there's been times, and I'm sure there's been times in everyone's life where you have moments where you just feel like you can't go no further. Like you feel like, okay, this is it for me. I'm covered over. I'm down. I don't understand, why I'm going through this. Maybe you're just, overwhelmed with everything that's going on, or maybe you're stressed, or I don't know what the situation is, but there's plenty things in life that sometimes will make you feel overwhelmed. But that little lizard didn't fight them. That little lizard sit there and, just letting it do that. But, and that's another thing, like in our lives, there's times when, we feel like we're just overwhelmed and like, and we're getting spiritually attacked, one thing right after another. We're just getting spiritually attacked, and the devil is just like attacking us left and right from each side, and we're like just to the point that we're about ready to give up. And then God steps in and He says, no, not my child. No, you keep moving. I'm getting ready to release you. I'm getting ready to free you. I'm getting ready to deliver you from the trials that you're going through. And so at that point, God, just like that little lizard, God will release the hold and will release you from the spiritual attacks that He's trying to hit you with. And so just like that lizard, He releases that spiritual attack and we just run towards God. Like that rock. Okay, that lizard was running to that rock. In the Bible, it says that Jesus is the rock. So just when He releases us from the attacks from the enemy, then we run towards Jesus. And when we run towards Jesus, we make that leap. We take that leap of faith, and that Jesus is there, that He's going to save us. And so this little lizard, it jumped up on that rock and it held on with everything in it. It held on to the rock, and that's us. So I don't care what you're going through in life. No matter what you're going through, Jesus is the answer. He is the only one that can help you through whatever situation that you're in. Jesus is the only one that can help you. And He is the only one that can save you and help pull you up and help you get up, and help you get safety, help you have salvation. And, He is salvation. He gives us salvation. And so anyways, as this little lizard made it, its little family member was up there. And so it was there with its family. And then I started thinking, too, here I was, this little lizard, just running, and had no idea, that I'm sitting there cheering on this little bitty lizard. Okay, and Paul had said something in the Bible, and I don't know the exact verse, and I really didn't, I didn't look it up, but he said sometimes when he said that you run your race. And he said that, I don't know the verse, but something about the cloud of witnesses that's around cheering us on. So that's sort of what I felt, like is that, Jesus is cheering us on. He's saying, come on, stand firm, keep the faith, like I imagine Paul and some of the apostles that's went on before us, some of the saints that's went on before us, is cheering us on and saying, don't give up, come, just stay faithful, fight the fight, run the race, and and complete your race. And so that's sort of how I felt. I'm like, if I'm cheering this little lizard on, I mean, God doesn't want to see us fail. He wants to see us succeed. He wants us to remain faithful till the end. And, and we just got to stay faithful. And, I understand everyone's got problems and everyone's going through so many different things right now. And, I just want people to be encouraged and to know not to give up, to just keep the faith. No matter what comes up, just know that the Lord loves you and He died for you to save you from your sins. And He wants you to spend eternity with Him. And and the another thing is in the end, if we stand on the rock, if we hold on to the rock, then one day we're all going to be together in eternity with God and in eternity with our loved ones that's went on before us that love the Lord and that serve the Lord. And so I just wanted to get on here and basically tell RJ and tell you all about that little story about the lizard and the snakes and just tell you that, God can talk to you through anything. And I think sometimes when we're going through hard times, or maybe we're feeling a little down, or maybe we just need a little encouragement, that He can use anything. A video of a lizard getting chased by snakes to help encourage someone, such as myself or such as you all, to encourage you to keep going, to keep moving, and to hold on to the rock, which is the Lord Jesus Christ. So with that being said, I want to see if RJ's got any thoughts, and if he does, I'll let him share that with you, and we'll go from there. You got anything that you want to say?
Well, one thing I was thinking of is, how you were so excited about that one lizard getting saved?
Uh-huh.
That shows how excited we should all be when somebody comes to Christ.
That's very true. Very true. I've never thought about it like that. And do you know in the Bible it says that the angels rejoice over one sinner that comes to the Lord, that repents and comes to the Lord?
And bringing one person to Christ is worth it 100%.
Yeah.
And every time you do, it should make you one of the most excited people all this time, like in all the world.
Yeah.
And then you should want to bring more people to Christ. The more people you bring, the more and more you want to bring. So.
Yeah, exactly. You want to lead them to Christ. We can't save them, but we can point them to the man that can save them, to the Lord, the Messiah that can save them.
And then from there, they got to get to them. If they face trials, then you can help them. But if they have to go through it on their own, then that can help them build up faith.
Exactly. Sometimes I think that the Lord allows us to go through things that only He can help us through.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people get to the point that they think they can handle everything on their own, and they don't think they need help from others and stuff. So sometimes I think God allows us to go through things and hit rock bottom, at certain points in our lives, so that way we know that He is our only help.
Like the lizard is a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And another thing that just brought me, like the other little lizard, it was in safety and it was up at the top. of the rock, but it didn't leave. It was sitting there waiting on the other lizard to see if it made it. But that little lizard, it was sitting there waiting, watching, and it was standing. And it was so weird because it was just standing there watching this little lizard. And I don't know, I'm sure it couldn't help it up, but, it was standing there. And to me, I don't know, maybe in lizard talk or whatever, it was sitting there saying, come on, come on up here. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, but anyhow, like I was sitting there and I just realized, that sometimes sometimes it seems like people don't care about the burdens that you're going through. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just that maybe you've not told them about this burden, or maybe you've not asked them for help, or sometimes maybe it's just that they can't help you. There was this preacher that said one time, he said, we've all got problems, and he said some of them, he said, only Jesus can help us with. Nobody can help you but Jesus. And so, when we see somebody going through something, if we can help, or if we can be of encouragement and stuff, we really need to step in and say, hey, can I help you? Or can we talk? Can I encourage, just say a few words to you? Can I pray with you? But other times, there's sometimes not all of the burdens is being seen, or not, or sometimes it's things that you go through that's not visibly seen, like say you lose someone, and that's very special to you. Nobody can take that pain away on this earth, and people don't always know what to say, don't know what to do, don't know how to act. But only God can help you through that and comfort you the way that you need to be comforted. And but if you're going through something and you need prayer, or if you're going through something and you need to talk or whatever, just comment on the video, or I've got Facebook. Most of you know me on Facebook, so you can message me. But either way, let me know. Send me your email address or whatever, and I'll message. I'll email you, and we'll pray for you. Or if you need prayer, just let us know. We want to help encourage everyone, and that's our biggest goal. We're not in it on this YouTube channel to make money. We're not here to be famous or anything like that. Whether it's 15 views, whether it's 100 views, we always pray and say, Lord, or we try to always pray before each video and say, Lord, let this be an encouragement, even if it's just one person. If it's 10 people that sees it and there's one person that helps, that's fine with us. But I do you got anything else? Okay. But I do ask this, if this has been an encouragement to you, I ask that you leave us a comment. Help encourage us to continue to do these videos. And if you do like it, and you want to see more like videos like this and stuff, or if you want us to talk about certain things or whatever, give us a thumbs up, write it in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. And if you don't care, please like, and if you've got anywhere to share this on, share it with your friend, or share it on Facebook, or share it, wherever you can. And not that we, like I said, it's nothing about the subscribers or anything like that. It's just that we want to be able to encourage people. And, we just want to help people. And if we can touch one person or plant a seed in one person's lives, then we feel like, and maybe we won't ever even know about it. You know, maybe it'll just be someone who doesn't want to say anything, and that's fine too. But know that for every person that is watching this, we appreciate your view. We appreciate you staying with us this long, and we'll see you next time, Lord willing. Bye.
Bye.